Newsmaker line, Annie Lobert. Annie, welcome to Focal Point with Bryan Fischer.
Hi, Bryan. How you doing?
Good to have you with us. I'm going to mention
I'm
the
glad
name.
to be here.
Great. It's good to have you on. Annie Lobert has a colorful past, and she is now working with a ministry, for a ministry, leading a ministry called hookersforjesus.net. So this is a ministry, Annie, that's designed to reach out to women that are involved in the life that you used to be involved in and pull them off the street, introduce them to Jesus, and set them on a different path. Talk to us a little bit about what your ministry is all about.
Hookers for Jesus was started as actually an outreach, and it was an actual name that I was criticized with by people that knew me from my past. They would say, "You're just a hooker, and that's all you're ever going to be." So I named it Hookers for Jesus for a reason, because it was criticism towards me, and I decided that I knew that God wanted to turn it around for good. So obviously, someone that fishes is a hooker. So that's what it really means. And, it started with an outreach, and I started to invite women to church at the casinos and hang out at the bars where they tried to pick up dates. And what I mean by that is clients where they could make money. And eventually, a lot of girls started coming to church, and we had nowhere to take the girls that wanted to leave their pimps to a safe place. We had nowhere to hide them. We had nowhere to help them. So I started putting them in hotels and letting them stay with me in my actual home I was living in. And what ended up happening, eventually Pastor Benny Perez at the church at South Las Vegas saw the need, and he said, "Annie, we have a house. Would you live there if I gave you the house and you ran the house and girls came?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that was when Destiny House was born. And so the ministry kind of grew on its own by the need. So right now we take women in that have been sex trafficked, and we give them emotional healing through the Bible, through the Word of God. We bring them to church. We offer them counseling, and then we set up a really good support system so they could transition out of that lifestyle, with job training and helping them, get established back into the real world.
Now, Annie, you yourself were involved in this lifestyle for about 16 years. Walk us back to how you got involved in this. What were the contributing factors? What were the things that were taking place in your life that made you vulnerable to resorting to this kind of lifestyle?
Well, I came actually from a really good upbringing. I went to church my whole life. My dad and mom raised me pretty much right. They made sure that I had good grades in school. I had chores. I followed the book, basically. But my dad was a real strict disciplinary because he was raised that way. He was in the military, so was my grandpa, so was my great-grandpa. So as you can probably, establish already, I didn't really see love when I was getting disciplined from my dad. So I blamed my father for any unforgiveness, or if he disciplined me, which most of the time, trust me, I actually needed it and deserved it. But I took that as an unloved feeling, because some children don't understand discipline. I think we all can go through this as we grow up, when a parent is harsh. And I took that as I was hated, as I wasn't loved, and so I ended up becoming really rebellious as a teen, and absolutely like a Madonna type of thing. I was into pop culture. I loved sexuality because I was told I wasn't able to be sexual when I was a teen. And then I started to just really want what the world would show us on MTV, in the magazines. And back then, the internet wasn't even around, but yet I let pop culture totally influence me. And I followed the crowd. I figured, they look pretty happy, and I'm going to make myself happy, and I'm so unhappy inside. Never knew what real love was. Had the first guy that I slept with out of high school break my heart. I ended up becoming, just so bitter. And so when I got out of high school, I got a regular job and then 2 other jobs. I'm a type A personality, just totally works-orientated, just had to prove myself to everyone that I was going to make it in life, and I wanted to go to college. So me and my girlfriends got fake IDs. We went out to the clubs, met some guys that said they were car salesmen and real estate moguls, and we ended up meeting actual pimps that were in sex trafficking underage girls and girls of age across the states.